Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of How Did This Get Booked? I, of course, am your host, Jake Manning, and I'm a veteran of the professional wrestling business for over a decade. And I've held every single job except selling popcorn. And I'm joined, as always, as my friend, my caretaker sometimes, in downward times, a friend that I have stuck through thick and thin, and his love of Vader and the White Sox. A man who is in my bike gang, a man who knows my deepest, darkest secrets, and he hasn't spilled them out, unlike some other people that I know who are my friends. Zane Riley, how are you doing?
Quote unquote friends. I'm great. I'm great. I did an escape room for lunch today, and it was fantastic. I'm on a high. I'm a winner right now, and so that's cool. Well, so yeah, I'm living.
What is it with you in escape rooms?
Man, they're so fun. They're addictive, and really like oh shit, like you have an hour. You're not really locked in because you can't do that anymore.
What do you mean you can't do that anymore?
So was
there an incident?
I guess they used to like legit lock you in a room, but now the door just kind of stays unlocked, and there's a way to signal that you have quote unquote unlocked said door.
Okay. So
I don't know, man. Like you gotta get this bit of adrenaline, and you're using your brain, so you feel like you're getting a mind workout. I don't know, man. They're just real fun. And now that a certain dumpster chicken is coming to America, there is an Australian podcast that I listen to called Escape This Podcast.
Okay.
I can ask her all about it.
Okay. All right. Well,
so I'm real excited.
We'll have that discussion. Actually, when this episode comes out, I'll be balls deep in that entire.
Go on. Hold on.
That balls deep in that trip. I know I could just that came out and that was a little weird. That was a little weird. That was a little awkward.
I mean, that layers.
There was layers to those
phrasing. Jokes. Are we using that anymore?
Listen, I just got done doing a promo class last night with students, and I was explaining layers and wordplay. So innuendos and everything like that. So I talked way too long. The training class that I ran last night went over by an hour.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've shared my knowledge, and I just dumped it all out. And it was somebody's second day, so they are lost.
Yeah, they have no idea what's going on.
No, I've made them worse because I've given them too much information. And that's what I feel like too. I see some of these students and I'm like, why aren't you as good as the Rockstar Pro students that the Chris brothers have? That you guys are still at this level and I can't move along. So I've come to the conclusion I'm a bad teacher.
Yeah. Did they tell you about how good my class was?
No.
Oh, I'll rub it in your face later. Don't worry about it.
Oh, please do. And if you want,
I'll give you some pointers.
Listen, it's hard for me to do the training school at High Spots School. I barely make it over there anymore.
Yeah, I found out you're doing it Wednesday. I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I realized today is today, and then you guys switch classes
today
sometimes.
And this day is it's a whole. I haven't been there in a month.
Yeah, that's why they asked me to do it.
Yeah, because I'm just on the road all the time. It's so tough. It's so tough to get over there. And when I get over there, apparently I do nothing other than make these students worse because they should be far better than what they are. But that's not on them. That's on me being a really bad teacher. So that's just
you're not known as the nurturer, Jake Manning.
I think the problem is, and I always thought I explained stuff really well, but I'm starting to come to the conclusion that I don't explain stuff very well. I'm starting to come to the conclusion I'm one of those people that really knows a lot, but I can't convey to you what I know. I felt
you can't dumb it down for some people.
I felt like I was the opposite, but I'm starting to realize that the results are not leading me to believe that anymore. So that's where we're at with that.
Okay.
And where we're at with this episode, because we've been yammering on for a while.
There's not a lot of episode here, so we kind of...
Yeah, we're kind of filling it with some talk, some back and forth. It's obviously pro wrestling in the media, but... before we ever get to the topic of discussion today, we've got to get through a couple of things. Most specifically, we have to get through the people who have left reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. We actually got quite a few new reviews on iTunes. We actually got 4 brand new reviews, I believe. I think I got this right.
That or we just haven't been paying attention and we don't have any. We just haven't talked about you at the moment.
I'm not for sure who is at the top of the poll, but I last one I can remember reading off was Eric Ells was the last person on iTunes to leave a review. And since that time, Get Dangerous has left a review.
Okay.
Johnny
Duck fan.
Johnny-ism, who
I know Johnny-ism.
Yeah,
he's the kid that does the really rad art on business cards.
Yeah, he also has a podcast as well. I was going to do it this Tuesday. Something came up. Thankfully, something came up.
Wait, what? You didn't want to do the podcast?
No, I wanted to do the podcast, and I was set to do the podcast. I was ready to do the podcast.
Oh, it came up on his end.
Yeah, it came up on his end. I didn't cancel.
I thought
him.
you canceled
He
him.
canceled. No.
Because Zane Riley would never cancel on you, Johnny. But don't worry about it. You didn't ask me.
No,
That's fine.
I'm sure he'll get around to asking.
Nah,
you.
that's fine.
All right, whatever. But no, he came up and he rearranged his whole schedule, but something came up, which is fine because I had so much work to do. And another person that left a review is Red Sox 71. Now socks with
Fuck them.
Wow, with two X's.
Two
so
X's.
I don't know.
Okay.
Are you mad because they have an extra X?
Maybe, and then the red, I prefer black.
Okay.
Or white. Shit. I fucked up my own thing. Or the Black Sox. I mean, we can't forget about the scandal.
Oh, this is true.
Shoeless Joe.
We're about ready to have a scandal right now. Me trying to read the person who's at the top of the poll. Azamata's Buckshank.
What?
No. Buckshank is the thing I'm most confident about. Okay, because this is what I had to read.
Okay.
Like Buckshank, that's the only thing I can decipher from that. That front part.
Ozymataz Buckshank.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter character.
I don't know.
Mischief managed, everybody.
You tell me.
Yeah, I would. I can tell you.
You're the one who knows.
I do know.
Because you are the man that I know as seeing a woman who was like dressed up in Harry Potter garb, a big old girl, and you're like, ooh, I want to get me some of that.
Yeah, I want to unlock her Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't even get that.
That was the line. That was the line. That was the line. I remember it. There it was. I like he just fell back into that moment as we were walking out of Common Market in Plaza Midwood.
Yep.
I was like, there was some line that he said.
Trying to slither in, girl it up.
There you go. See, I forget.
It's all right. You don't have enough alpha brain.
I don't. I just took it. It's in pill form. It's slowly kicking in. I'll be fantastic by the time we stop recording. But those are the people on iTunes right now. I'll have to say Azamataz Buckshank until somebody gets another review on iTunes. Please, somebody leave a review on iTunes so I don't have to say that for more than another week or so.
Or if you're Azamataz Buckshank, you could message us and tell us how to actually pronounce that first part.
Yeah, phonetically get up. And also, too, I don't think you've got up with me about T-shirts. I've only sent out one T-shirt. It was just to Miles Kane recently. So I don't know if any of these people have gotten their T-shirts yet. I think Eric has. I know Eric has sent it out. That's why I remember. That's why I was like, we'll just go from here and then read from there. But then, of course, on Stitcher, Bin Bird's still at the top.
Get it, girl.
She's still there. She's still sitting there. Just looking all Bin Birdie is up. Just
saying we don't know what that term means, but we know.
We know.
We here in America get it right every time.
Absolutely. And we appreciate your progressiveness when it comes to sexuality.
There you go. Also, a quick birthday shout out to good friend of the show, fan, and maker of the Manning Cave sign, Ray.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Ray,
man.
Ray, thank you for the sign. Happy birthday. Thank you for getting on board with this train early. One of the people that got in very early and all this. As soon as she found out about us, found out about this podcast, she was in right away.
In like sin, who we met at the Spooky Empire convention for FSCW.
Yeah, and just had a nice, wonderful conversation.
She saw us get sexually assaulted.
Yes.
She got sexually assaulted too with us.
Okay, so it was a bonding moment, and I thought it was just going to end that night, but it's turned into this wonderful friendship where she's paid attention to our podcast and made this wonderful sign that hangs proudly in my house.
Right on the door.
That is an update because I told her I was afraid to put it up because I was afraid it would fall down. She's like, don't worry, if it falls down and breaks, I'll make another one.
There you go.
So give it a shot.
It is her birthday time, and we will see her in Miami. You won't, but Caleb and I will.
Yeah, I'll be balls deep.
Yep.
In a trip, a 2-week long vacation. So that's where
Is it a staycation or?
It's a staycation.
Good.
There's some spots here and there we'll do.
Take her to Myrtle Beach, get the real full effect of North
I
America.
don't want to do that.
I don't want her to maybe not come back.
I don't want her to get tetanus.
Take you to the Australia of America.
Yeah, I don't know if she's required by Australian law to get tetanus shots. So
at least malaria.
Yeah, at least malaria or whatever. Scarlet fever.
Myrtle Beach is a third world country.
Yeah, it really is. Plus, there's a bunch of meth too.
Yeah.
Is there meth in third world countries? I think that's
probably more meth in Myrtle Beach, but then I'm sure there is, or whatever they would call meth.
Okay, whatever they would call it in a third.
Stardust.
Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
We're
almost, but we have to read off a sponsor.
Yes. Unfortunately, we did not think about that until moments ago.
Yes.
But we are never to be outdone. We had a good idea, Jake. What was our idea?
Our idea is a subscription box.
For we just 100% made this up just a moment ago.
Yes, and the reason we're doing
we have nothing written.
We have nothing written. We're going about this, and the reason why we're doing this is to prove to all you advertisers out there
that we can fill time.
We can fill time. We can read your ad that you want us to read on this podcast, so you can pay us to read it on this podcast, and that way we can actually make some money on this podcast as opposed to continually losing it on production costs.
Yes,
because a lot of people, it's a podcast trick. You just make up an ad of a business you already work for, like Conrad. His mortgage place was a sponsor of Something to Wrestle With for a very long time. Mellow Web's Design, our buddy Ken, his podcast, that was his sponsor. So it was just, hey, I proved to you that I can read off an ad. Well, guess what? These two Jamoose can do that.
We can effing do that. And we have a doozy today.
Yes, we do. Like I said, it is a subscription clothing box.
Yes.
Where it is called
Bulletproof.
Kind of like a Bullet Club.
Yep.
That's why it kind of ties in. It's a perfect ad for this particular podcast. And it is clothing that is actually bulletproof. Because, in America these days, you never know when shots will be fired.
Yeah. Especially at a wrestling show. People are shooting on people left and right these days.
This is true. This is very true. And also, too, with wrestling is a lot like baseball. And at baseball games, they always say, hey, if ball gets hit any direction, you are responsible for moving. And I think that's the most American philosophy ever, that if shots are coming your way, you are responsible for getting out of the way, but some people just can't get out of the way.
And this clothing subscription box takes care of that situation in case you just can't get out of the way.
We got a 50-50 cotton and Kevlar blend. Shirts, flannel shirts, pants, all kinds of things. We got Omega jeans.
Yes, we do. We have the young buckskin flannel shirt.
We have the villain caps.
You can also get the apothecary nose added on, no extra cost.
No extra cost. Full on Kevlar, bulletproof. So nobody's gonna shoot that nose off if you want to go out.
So if you think that you're elite enough to sign up for this subscription box, it's just a couple easy steps. Now, how do we make sure we get the right fit? Well, they have tailors on site that will give you the perfect fit. If something doesn't fit, you send it right back. Are you one of those 3, 4, 5, 7X wrestling fans? Right up your alley. They go up to 11X.
Yeah, and if you don't like something, if like, this really is my style, put it in a box and super kick it back.
Whoa!
They will refund your money, and they'll send you something that you do like. That's what the subscription box of clothing wear Bulletproof will do for you. That is its guarantee.
They will not hangman you out to dry.
This is very true. Like I said, it will guarantee to make sure you get what you like, but there's no guarantee that it will stop all bullets from all assault rifles.
Again, we said 50-50.
50-50 cotton Kevlar blend subscription box, so make sure you get your Bulletproof wear.
I'm all in, Jake Manning. I don't know about you.
You're being all elite covered in bulletproof gear.
That was good.
That was good. You were better at it than I was.
That's all right. It's okay.
I've been stumbling and bumbling.
Hey, we got there.
So
even if you're a company that doesn't exist and you don't think that you don't even have anything to give us, we'll make it happen. We didn't have anything there. We just freestyle. We yes-anded it.
Yes-anded. And I agree with everything you say, and hopefully that company can exist in the future.
And speaking of that company, the man that would probably front that company is a man we're going to speak of today.
Yes. When I talked to you, I was like, hey, let's get something easy and quick, because I got to get this out.
I got shit to do.
And we batted stuff around. We had some discussions. So
a Baywatch episode came up, but I said, nay, we've already done 2 Baywatch things this year.
I said a Nash Bridges episode, and you're like, no, I hate Cheech Marin.
You can't do it. Cannot.
Yeah, you cannot.
I'm a Chung guy. I was a Tommy Chung guy.
I get that. I'm sorry to even bring up Cheech's name in the Manning Cave in your presence.
It's one of the lists on the wall. It's one of the rules that we can't talk about, but you broke that rule. It's your house. I can't say anything. It's your cave.
I know, but we agreed upon those rules, so we're going to stay with those rules.
It's fine.
It's going to be a very long time before
Jake.
we get to the Steve Austin episodes of Nash Bridges, because we have to amend that
Hopefully
rule.
It's a Cheech Light episode.
Yeah. I'll have to take a look.
Okay.
I'll have to take a look.
So you can edit it out like you've edited other videos lately here to edit out a person?
Oh, I have edited out so many people. or just move right on forward and pretend like he's there.
Like he's not even there.
Not even there. So
you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
Or you won't. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Not a monster. But if you do have a monster...
You're not, he is.
Yeah, exactly. But if you do run into a monster, you need a superhero, and that's why we're doing the superhero series Arrow from season 5, episode 3, entitled "A Matter of Trust."
I thought this was a great idea, and then I watched the episode. I've watched the series.
Okay,
And then I was like, holy shit, there's so much stuff going on in this episode with no context. This is almost impossible.
I was fucking lost.
Yeah, of course. I watched it all, and I was still lost. Like, wait a minute, who's this?
Everything with John, I don't know what's going on.
You don't even know who John is.
I have no idea who John is and how he's important to any of this whatsoever.
I will tell you who he is when we get there.
Please do.
And I will tell you about his imaginary cellmate.
Oh, he has an imaginary cellmate.
Well, there was the cellmate.
Yeah.
And then he just wasn't there later. When she goes to see him.
Once again, like I said, I tuned out anytime
No
I was like,
problem.
this is Cody Rhodes is not in the scene, so there's no reason for me to pay attention to anything whatsoever. But yeah, that's part of the reason why we are watching this, is because this is the debut episode of Cody Rhodes on Arrow, which actually has now turned into a recurring character.
Yes, he was in like 4 or 5 episodes in season 7, and I think he was in like 1 or 2 other ones in this 5th season.
Yeah, I think he was in one in 2017, and then he's been in 4 in 2018.
Yeah.
So I think that's in season 7 as well. But not a lot to read off for IMDb.
Yeah.
They
focus more on movies than...
Well, yeah, but there's enough information there, because I always dig deep on the
Yeah,
IMDb page, because I'm always trying to see if there's another connection to another wrestler. So like, oh, this connection here, because I always envision anytime there's a situation where somebody's in a project with another wrestler and they've done another show with another wrestler, that they talk in catering and they're like, so you're not the first wrestler I've worked with. I actually was a child in Santa with muscles. You know, like so I always envision
That's your dream scenario.
That's
for
my
everything
dream
we
scenario,
watch.
with some actor trying to like
schmooze up
a wrestler, and the wrestler just rolling his eyes like like that's.
You told me that yesterday, Dave.
That's why the IMDb page is so important to me. But there was nothing to dig out of any of this whatsoever, and sometimes there's kind of fun little cool things like, hey, like this is like the last episode we had Peggy from Madman. Her debut role was in Suburban Commando.
Yeah,
we have nothing of that. So
but don't worry, she's gonna return in Urban Commando.
This is true. Make sure you check out Urban. Maybe we should do an ad for Urban Commando.
Next time we got that.
Yeah, so we'll push it.
Keep an ear out.
But another piece of information about this episode, it came out October 19th, 2016, and Cody actually asked for his release from WWE in May 2016. So he got all that rub for himself post-release. Yes. So good for him.
Which would go on to lead us to... They also had an angle, though, in WWE for a moment, right?
I think they were announcing that he was filming it, and like that was like towards the tail end of his run. Because I always felt like towards the end of like Cody's run when he was doing Stardust, which did they?
They made this drug about it.
Okay. Oh, they purposely. As I was wondering, was the character before the drug was?
Yeah, the drug is named after the character of Cody Rhodes.
Okay,
that was all the
because it's in Star City.
Yeah.
So there is that connection as well.
No, it's from the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because like you think about it, because Star City's where this takes place, right?
I thought the Flash was Star City.
I thought
maybe.
I thought Arrow was the mayor of Star City.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that
you're right.
No, I'm fucking right. I'm fucking right. It's my goddamn podcast.
Yeah, you
okay?
can do whatever you want.
It's just I'm right that there's a subscription box.
Yeah, you're right.
Called Bulletproof.
Yeah.
Where you get a 50-50 Kevlar cotton mix. Okay.
Yeah. My words are bulletproof. You were correct, Jake. You were bulletproof on that point.
Mm-hmm. So is that tank top bulletproof?
Yeah. BULLETPROOF.
You want to go find out and see if it is? I mean, I just purchased a high-end rifle. If you want.
Did you? Whoa! What are we doing here?
Well, listen, I have a house guest.
Yeah. You got to protect.
Either protect and/or not sure where she stands.
I mean,
I've only known her for 6 months, and then I'm going to be lying next to her late nights. So I don't know if I need protection for myself or for her.
Well, you should definitely wear the very nice pajamas that you can also get from Bulletproof.
Oh, okay.
You can get a really good set.
Papa PJs.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
Papa Peach.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta get that. Anywho, back to Mayor Star City.
Mayor Star City. So I was like, oh, that would make sense because like Angel Dust.
Yeah.
If it was Star City, it'd be Stardust. So that'd be a connection there. So I was like, oh, which came first here?
The chicken and the egg.
Yeah. So it's one of those weird connections. Yeah. So I'm glad you cleared it up for me and that you were wrong. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So
anytime.
Right, cool. But yeah, this starts off where Arrow's trying to get information.
Just hits the ground running for someone that's never seen the show.
Yeah, like I was like, whoa, he just dropped a man.
Yeah. And they're discussing on killing him or not.
Yeah,
and this is the CW.
Yeah, that's what I was like too. I was like, I thought this would be a little bit more playful.
Michigan J. Frog when you need him.
Yeah, like this was dark right off the bat. Yeah. I'm like, that's why I'm glad you've seen the series before because I want to ask you, I was like, is this the way all of them are?
He's recently, like at this point, more recent than not, stopped just straight up killing people.
Oh, he's finally like, oh, this is a bad idea.
He's off the killing train. He's on the wagon of just wound them.
But like as a superhero, he's like, oh, I'm super on the killing train.
Yeah, he was brother. He was a villain, and there's arguable points where he was the villain here. He was what is his name? What is the villain's name in Bulletproof in the Elite? Marty. He was Marty Skrull.
Marty. Okay, he was Marty Skrull.
He was Marty Skrull for a little bit. Skrull.
He was no perfect gentleman like Cody Rhodes.
No, who is a good friend of yours?
Oh, not yet.
No, not yet. Friend, but
I'm working on it. I'm trying to be the George South to Cody Rhodes' Dusty Rhodes.
Okay.
I'm trying very hard.
Yeah.
And as soon as I find out where AEW is setting up their office, I'm going to go into that office just like George South used to go into Jim Crockett Promotions office and just be like, Cody, I just want to tell you, thank you for everything that you've done for me. And then they're like, we got nothing for you, Jake. I'll just do what George did and offer to cut the grass. Because Dusty's office window would be right outside where the lawn was.
Yeah.
And so George would cut the grass, and every time he would walk by the window, he'd be like, hey, Dusty! Hey, Dusty! Just so Dusty wouldn't forget about him.
Yeah.
So he was hoping that Dusty was booking the towns, and he would see George outside cutting the grass.
Well, he did cut my grass real nice, did he?
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the grass at the AEW offices
there you go.
and make sure I go back and forth every time right in front of Cody's office. Be like, hi, Cody! Hi, Cody! How are you?
Hello.
I just want my house. I'm going to change the name of the address where I live. It's not going to be Sheffield Drive. It's going to be American Nightmare Boulevard. That's where I'm going to put my house.
I've already talked to the zoning committee. I've talked to the neighborhood watch.
Because all the money that you put in my pocket, Cody, potentially, hopefully, after we become friends, I'm be able to pay off this house.
I mean, I am wearing all of your clothes in your clothing company.
Yeah, exactly. I'm wearing bulletproof clothes. I'm wearing the American Nightmare
tank top.
I was going to say the American Nightmare V-neck, which is also very comfortable as well. It's very comfortable.
You can get the whole American Nightmare. There's a whole line.
There's a whole line, the American Nightmare, and it looks a lot like Derek Sampson, so, believe it or not. And not only could you get shot and not feel it, but the bullets will bounce right off.
Right off. You're almost bulletproof.
This is
there
true.
We go.
There we go. But
We've done our due diligence.
Arrow drops a dude out of a building.
Yeah, and guys oh, you don't kill people anymore. Because he was like, you don't even kill people anymore. He's like, yeah, but you'll live. But you ain't going to walk right.
What? So, the bad guys know he's not going to kill anybody anymore?
They're on board.
Okay, so did he make a big proclamation as Arrow, I will never kill anybody more?
Yeah. Well, eventually just stopped killing, and everybody kind of got the Iggy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he ain't killing motherfuckers no more? Of course, he dropping them 2 or 3 floors.
Were you ever a fan of the Green Arrow comic book?
No, I was not. Only when he teamed up with Green Lantern.
Yeah, that's the only awareness I have of him too, and the little bit he was in
he's
Justice.
Super liberal.
Yes.
But he's also a lot older. This is the Gotham-esque version of Arrow where he's just a younger dude becoming what you know in the comic books.
Okay, because the only thing I know from him from the comic books is he got hooked on heroin, I think. Or
that was Speedy.
Speedy got hooked on heroin, and then he had to deal with that.
Yeah.
But there was also some really shitty stuff that Green Arrow did in the comic books. I can't remember what it was.
I don't remember. No, that was something different. I don't know.
There was something where Green Lantern's like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, there was the thing where they melted Dr. Light's brains as the Justice League, but I don't remember. I don't remember a specific. Again, not a huge Arrow or Green Arrow fan.
But you're a huge Arrow fan.
The show is very good.
Okay.
The show is good.
How would you rate this episode in the pantheon of Arrow episodes?
Equal to the rest. I mean, it's just again, these seasons have 20-something episodes.
Yeah, because
it's unfortunately he's not that Cody Rhodes is not that big of a part of any story really. It's more about just this team and how they've worked together.
But he should.
He definitely should.
Because Cody, unbelievable actor. I can't tell you how amazing Cody was in this entire
man
thing.
that you would really like to sit down and cut his grass one day.
I would love to. Well, not in the way that you're thinking of that innuendo.
No,
Let's be clear.
No layer here?
I mean, no, there's no layers there. They're just very straightforward. If he needs landscaping done, I'm just a short drive away from where you are in Georgia.
Wherever that is.
Wherever you need. I mean, 4 or 5 hours, I'll be there.
Yeah, you just tell me.
I will cut your physical grass. I won't cut your grass in the metaphorical sense as some people use it as.
I mean, unless you need it.
Unless you need it. But so he's got students that are watching this, and let me say this. So all these trainees, I guess you would call them, because
they're going to be. Are you talking about the kids here in the show?
Yeah, the kids in the show.
They're going to be his first shot at having a team, because he can't do this all on his own.
Yeah, because
go ahead and tell you who he is. Johnny was Arrow's right hand man.
Okay.
For the longest time, and then he had to get away for a while. Just the job got too much.
So that's why we're still wondering what he's doing.
Yeah, that's he comes back.
So basically, Arrow's hey, I need 4 people to replace John.
Yes, because John's a fucking badass.
Okay, cool.
John is probably the best part of the entire show.
All right, cool. But they're in this high-tech facility.
Mm-hmm. They're not even the real hideout.
Yeah, not even
a satellite hideout.
A satellite hideout with Felicity, who makes appearances in Flash. Now, they have all this high-tech equipment, just even this satellite area. And they're using the way Arrow is handling this situation, and they're going to use it as a training exercise. Mm-hmm. And Felicity says, I will give each one of you DVD copies so you guys can study this.
You can't get a Blu-ray?
You can't get an iPad. Like NFL quarterbacks have Windows Surfaces on the sidelines. These kids can't get a little iPad?
You're trying to tell me that you would trust Wild Dog, whose only vigilante gear is a hockey mask and a couple guns. You're going to trust him with an iPad?
I mean, they trust Tom Brady with an iPad, and he just throws it up in the air when he gets frustrated.
We'll take him back to paper play books.
You give Adamakan Sue a Windows Surface iPad or tablet, and he has no respect for anybody on his team, let alone things that you hand him. The only person he respects is Warren Buffett, surprisingly.
Duh.
Yeah. Just you couldn't get them that.
Yeah.
But this whole thing's about trust, and you have these flashbacks that's a through line through him.
Which is real weird. I'd also assume the flashbacks were real fucked up for you, too.
Everything in this episode is fucked up.
The entire series is based on different situations he's been in of flashbacks. At one point, he wakes up on an island. The island's all fucked up. The very beginning is him and his dad go out to sea, and they get in a hurricane, and he ends up on this island, and he's stuck on that island forever, and then he goes somewhere else, and then he gets back on the island somehow. Okay. And now he's in Russia.
Yeah, so, everything was confusing except for the parts where Cody Rhodes was in it, because that's just a credit to Cody Rhodes' acting.
Because he brought it all together.
He was the glue that held this episode, dare I say, the entire show.
Probably.
The entire run of the show.
Yeah.
I feel like the wheels...
That's why they had to bring him back in season 7.
Because the wheels are falling off.
Yeah.
The wheels are falling off. You know what? The episode that really pulled everything together was the episode that we had Cody Rhodes here. We need to bring him back. We need to figure out a way that Derek Sampson could come on back.
Come on down. Because he can't be stopped.
Can't be stopped. And the way that he was able to not be able to stop, the way he was able to not be stopped is Wild Dog.
Either way.
Wild Hog.
Listen,
Just trust me, it was Wild Hog.
Yep. You just gotta get the bullet points.
I corrected you earlier about the Stardust thing.
Yeah, I'll go
do you
fuck
want
myself.
to? Do you want to
I
argue?
don't want to play this game again.
You don't want to. You'll lose.
Your bulletproof logic will win out.
That's rule number 4 on the board.
You're right. You're right.
Don't.
Well, I mean, Cheech Marin came before that rule, but we can go ahead and just break the fuck out
All
of
right,
that.
if you want to make some amendments to the rule that we have in the Manning Cave, we'll do that.
You know, amendments have done a lot of good for this country. Maybe we need some amendments here in the cave.
Okay, all right.
We'll talk about that at the meeting.
At the meeting.
Okay.
All right.
I'll send you a DVD copy of the meeting that we have.
Please do.
Yeah. I'm gonna need you to edit it though, so I can send it to you. You could even get Blu-ray on here. Like you probably have Blu-ray technology.
Yeah, you probably have. Yeah, probably do. But anyways, Wild Mammal just starts shooting stuff up, which another thing, jarring.
Yeah.
Because
just fucking laying them down.
Just blasting away.
And I could see if it was wing shots and fucking put down shots. No, these are fucking
kill shots.
3 or 4 to the chest kind of stuff.
Fucking kill shots. And now I'm not, and the thing is, every time we go to a GalaxyCon convention, there's always the CW affiliate there locally, and they always have nice cardboard cutouts of the Flash and other shows that they're trying to promote, and most specifically Arrow.
Yeah.
And so people can take their picture next to it. I'm like, oh, so when I see that, I'm like, oh, Arrow is a nice, wholesome television show. And then I tune in, and they're just straight up kill shots, right? And everyone just everybody drops like flies because they're not wearing their bulletproof clothing. Yeah. So
because he didn't have it made by this point.
Exactly. This is in the past.
Yeah. This is still brunette.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes.
If this was 2019, obviously everybody watching would be like, why didn't they just buy bulletproof clothing?
Yeah.
So
Arrow brought to you by Bulletproof Clothing.
So I like that Wild Mammal is he's got a hockey mask on, and he gets in this fight scene with Cody Rhodes, and Cody doing his own stunts because he's a professional.
Oh yeah.
But of course they can swap out a stuntman for Wild Mammal underneath that hockey mask real easily because he's got something covering his face.
He's very Casey Jones at the moment.
Oh,
I feel they missed the boat on a good Casey Jones reference.
No, they didn't.
Oh, did they make it?
They made it.
Oh, okay. I must have missed it.
They made it at the end.
Oh, okay.
If you want to jump to
No. We'll get there. You'll bring it back.
Okay.
We'll bring it back.
Okay. So, anyways, Cody Rhodes' character, Derek Sam,
doing all of his own stunts.
All of it.
Looking great.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even tell that lisp. Can't even notice the lisp.
What are you talking about?
Talking about Cody Rhodes'
No,
lisp.
he doesn't have one.
You're right. He doesn't.
He does
no,
not.
Why would he?
No.
He's too good.
What are you talking about?
Never heard it.
No.
Nope.
I don't make me edit this.
Well, you're right.
Don't goddamn fucking say a fucking word about
Squirrel Studios get ready to edit out Zane the rest of this episode.
My second new best friend, okay? Adam Page. Actually, you know what? Screw it. My new best friend. Sorry, Adam Page. You just got pushed down the list.
Oh, you get it. Okay, buddy?
You get it.
Sorry, Magnum.
So he gets dropped in a vat. We think that's the end.
Mm-hmm. They just straight up leave him to die. Mm-hmm. They're just like, all right, well, let's fuck off now.
Yeah.
Oh, girl was about to shoot too. She had the gun, shot him.
Yeah.
And he just no-sold it.
I mean, so he was already bulletproof.
Yeah.
So gets flipped in there. Then there's all the issue with Speedy and the reporter. Mm-hmm. Then we get to the morgue where they're about ready to do the autopsy on Derek Sampson. And just old Cody Rhodes nips up, son.
Just you think he's the Undertaker until he fucking flipped up.
Mm-hmm. He will drop Goldberg on his head.
Yeah, and mean it.
Yeah. In his prime.
Mm-hmm.
In his prime.
Get up, Jackhammer.
Yeah. Just walking around, just taking all kinds of punishments, getting an arrow and just walking right through like a badass, like he is in real life.
Like a real, he probably is bulletproof in real life, and that's what made him start this clothing company.
Yeah. So
it's life. It's art imitating life,
and kind of kicks Arrow's ass.
Oh, a good bit. And so much his trainees are like, looks like you got your ass whooped. Yeah. Feed a hand, brother. And he got his back at All or Nothing though, right? Oh no, All In. Didn't they actually?
He was there. I don't know what he did.
They had a match.
Oh, they had a match?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Him and Arrow. Okay. Stephen Amell or whatever.
Stephen Amell. Which, by the way, every time I saw Stephen Amell, he always looked really lean,
Mm-hmm.
but then he looks like super like bulky in this show.
Suit.
Yeah, it's the suit. The suit makes
Yeah.
him super, because like that was another thing too that kind of threw me off. Like I kind of expected like this kind of lanky looking dude.
Yeah.
And then I tune into this show. I'm like,
Who's this beef daddy?
yeah, who's this beefy suicide I see before me? Wasn't suicide a lot leaner than that and do like a BME? And now this one's like all beefy and smells like farts?
This
Get
guy's
out of
going.
here.
Look at him.
Get out of
What
here.
are you on? You on the stuff?
You on the stuff?
What's the cycle?
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of took me back a little bit. And then a bunch of other stuff happens. I think some stuff happens with John, and
This is where we get why John is in this prison of things.
why is he in this prison? Explain this to me.
Because he talks about it like he's with his like commanding officer, and his commanding officer turns out to be a piece of shit. Is going to sell this technology to the highest bidder, to some terrorists, and John puts him down.
Okay.
And so they arrest John for killing an officer,
Okay.
but because they don't know that he was selling to terrorists.
Okay, I caught that because like literally like that's when I would just check Twitter every time John like you say
Because you have you don't know who John is.
I have zero horse in the game, zero.
In hindsight, the idea was good, but to expect to know what's going on is unfathomable.
Oh,
we probably should have done Nash Bridges.
Yeah, like Nash Bridges, you can jump in at any moment in time in that series. Like, oh, Don Johnson, and then that other fellow who used to go up with Tommy Chong.
He who does not be named on this podcast.
We'll discuss that afterwards.
I'm going to pull Justin Bieber and call out Cheech. You didn't see where Justin Bieber called out Tom Cruise for a UFC fight here like 2 days ago or yesterday?
I saw that, but I was
I'm going to do that with me and Cheech.
Okay.
Coming for you, Cheech.
Well, they need an undercard.
Yeah.
If they book that match, they're going to need an undercard.
Yeah.
So you versus...
Maybe we can get it on All Out.
Okay, you versus Cheech Marin?
Yeah,
all right,
on All Out. And then like you can do whatever you need to do with Cody. Maybe Cody needs another tag team partner.
Maybe whatever Cody needs.
Yeah. I mean, they have the librarian. Maybe they need the groundskeeper. It could be you.
It could definitely be the groundskeeper.
Yeah. And who would know better about keeping grounds than a man scout?
Why is it that everybody has better ideas about my career than I do?
This is why I'm applying. This is why I'm trying to buy in.
That's why you try to buy in.
Trying to sell out and buy in. I want to do both.
But you're trying to buy into the rival company.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Imagine if we're on the opposite sides of the fence.
Oh man. I'll just write you things and then like I'll use my secure unknown email address to just randomly send you ideas. You just pass it on.
Oh, this podcast wouldn't exist at all anymore.
No.
That is a weird timeline of events. If everything goes the way we foresee it in our wildest fantasies, this podcast would not exist.
Oh no, because I'll be living in Connecticut and then you'll just be mowing grass in Atlanta. And
just starting all over again.
I'm sure Michael will come down there to you. He'll let you sleep at your house.
Oh, Michael would love it. He's got, I got spies.
No, Micah.
Everywhere. Oh, Micah? Oh, no.
No, he can't come.
No, he can't come.
No.
I'm leaving him behind.
We're all leaving someone.
We're all leaving people behind.
Guys, if you learn anything from this podcast is that one day we too will leave you.
Yes. So
be happy for us when we do.
Enjoy the content you're getting right now. I would say enjoy the art, but let's be honest. This
subjective.
We're very much filling time. We're only at 37 minutes right now.
And we're almost done with this episode. We have passed the climax.
We have led you astray.
Yeah.
You are completely lost. Like if you're a Super Arrow fan, or if you're a Green Arrow fan of the comics, you are irate right now. You hate our guts.
Yeah, everything is wrong.
Yeah.
Desi and Ray are probably the only ones that like this fucking episode.
Oh, we know Ray likes it. We appreciate Ray. If nothing else, at least Ray supports us. If we ever lose the support of Ray, then it's definitely time to back up.
We got Destiny. Destiny's always listening. So
yeah, we should make a list of like.
Well, we just did. We just made that list.
Yeah, okay.
We'll put it on the board beside the rules.
If you get your dream job and I get my dream job, and then if we lose the support of Ray, then those are the two instances where this podcast has to end.
Of course.
Okay. But this episode has not ended.
I love that our dreams are what ends this podcast.
Well, like I said, when we got to the 300th episode of Daddy Don't Work You Wrestle, and everybody's like, congratulations. I'm like, don't congratulate me. The fact that I'm still here for 300 episodes, it means that my life has gone terribly
I saw
wrong.
302 pop up today, and I was like, God damn, when are you gonna quit?
Whenever I move on.
When George just stops coming.
No, he's still going to come. He's still going to show up. He's going to be an unstoppable force, much like Derek Sampson is
You would
in this
think that
episode.
George is wearing bulletproof clothing.
You would think so, because nothing stops him to get to the High Spots office to record Dad, You Don't Work, You Wrestle.
Episode 302 out right now.
Exactly. But the episode we're talking about right now, I've tried to lead us back 3 times, and you're like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep
we're
going.
here. I mean, where the fuck are we gonna go?
I don't know. I want to talk about like Cody when he burns his arm and talks about his favorite movie is Lethal Weapon.
Which is how I want my Cody. That's my boner Cody.
Yeah.
Got a Cody boner. Co-bono.
Now, all due respect.
Yes. And I did say, all due respect.
I say again, all due respect, Mr. Rhodes, Mr. Reynolds, whichever you prefer.
You tell me. Cody. Can I call you Cody?
No, okay. I can't call you Cody.
That's cool. That's cool.
Mr. Executive.
Mr. American Nightmare.
Mr. Executive Vice President, Director of Television Operations,
Thronebreaker.
Thronebreaker, whatever you want to call it. I've always had the problem with this when I see people do the fire trick.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what's the trick? Oh, you don't mind.
Yeah.
You don't mind the pain or whatever. And because I remember that being a reference from All the President's Men.
Uh-huh.
Because they were talking about G. Gordon Liddy. But then I found out that's just a ripoff of a scene from Lawrence in Arabia.
Oh.
So him referencing Lethal Weapon, which is kind of a reference to Lawrence in Arabia, which is also made reference to in All the President's Men. So it's just like, okay, I guess
this is where we are now.
I guess every generation has their own version of the lighting the hand over the fire trick. So.
And I like that they make this reference in a modern show to a movie that's not necessarily modern, and the key demographic for this show have no fucking clue what that reference is.
Well, you got to remember the Lethal Weapon series, not that far away.
No,
so
maybe
if
they brought it back in the show.
Yeah.
Now here's my thing though:
would Lethal Weapon be a part of the same cinematic universe as Arrow?
It couldn't. It's not far-fetched.
I would love to see a scene with Damon Wayans and Cody Rhodes.
Oh, please. I mean, and we talked about Casey Jones. We know that the Ninja Turtles are in Batman's universe, so they must be in Green Arrow's universe as well.
Yes, because DC connection. And of course, Stephen Amell plays Casey Jones in the Michael Bay's version of the Ninja Turtles.
There we go.
And since we're already right there,
and you only have one page of notes left anyway.
Yeah, when they're in the elevator and they go, "What type of vigilante wears a hockey mask?" Arrow, Stephen Amell, who plays Casey Jones, says, "I think it's cool."
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there is
there it is. There is.
Yeah,
I remember that now. I didn't know if it's specific name drop. We could have got a name drop, but you're right. Yeah, but it's good. That's a good clever. That's a good layer.
Yeah. But I don't know if they own the rights. It's like Deadpool. You can kind of get X-Men for a second, or you can only get Colossus throughout, but you can't get the rest of them.
And not even real Colossus, put together a weird machine Colossus.
Yeah. You don't get Pietro. You get Colossus.
Yeah.
So we get that. So Cody's gonna make all of his guys bulletproof.
His thing is he can't feel pain.
Yeah.
His skin would still burn. He would still catch on fire.
Yeah, but he doesn't mind.
But his skin didn't even tarnish.
No, it was turning red. It was a little.
He would have gone up a lot faster than that.
No, he was
all right.
Listen, when you get caught on fire, it takes a while for it to burn.
So, you are a Man Scout, so you would know about fires.
I'm also a guy.
Don't know shit about knots, but you know about fires.
I'm also a guy that used to, when drunk, pour Everclear on his arm and then light it on fire and then turn around oh my gosh and scare people. That's what I used to do in college.
College?
Yeah.
Not recent?
No.
No, obviously not because you don't drink, but last couple years?
No.
This isn't a crap for help.
No, because
okay, cool.
Because
I don't have time for that.
Also too, in North Carolina, Everclear is more expensive than it was in Illinois.
Yeah.
Because
there's all the grains over there.
Well, that
the
also
corn
too, North Carolina, they tax their alcohol according to its alcohol content. Where like in Iowa, you could buy a bottle of Everclear for $8.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh well, why am I messing around with a 12-pack?
Yeah.
Like a bottle of Everclear.
Go whole hog.
Yeah, Everclear is gonna last me like 2.5 days. So like that right there, perfect.
Yeah.
And you just pour a little bit on like my hairy arms, light it on fire, but you gotta make sure the kitchen sink's on.
Yeah, because that's gotta go out quick.
Yeah, it's gotta go real quick. Because a couple times I didn't make it, and there's a couple times that people shut it off, and then I'm fumbling around.
Goo.
Yeah,
I'm on fire.
there's a couple, maybe some first degrees, not second degrees.
Put the fire out. No, that's more alcohol.
Just trying to get a rise out of people.
Yeah.
That's how much I need the attention.
Yeah.
And you wonder why I'm a professional wrestler and a stand-up comedian. I need the attention that bad.
Yeah.
I used to light myself on fire.
Or you need to feel that pain.
Bit
A, bit of B.
A little column A, a little column B. I'm getting both parts of me scratched at the same time. So,
speaking of getting scratched at the same time, I don't know. That's where we're going.
well, he gets shot and it kind of scratching and
Yeah,
that
it
scratches
does,
there for
yeah.
a while. But
So he tells all of his people he's going to get bulletproof.
yeah, but before that, they make a professional wrestling reference.
Yes, they do.
Which is super weird. Like, it just feel like it was very forced in here.
Yeah.
Like, so who was the guy that was...
Fair play.
no, I mean, who was the guy wearing the jacket?
Mr. Terrific.
No, the guy who was wearing the Mr. Terrific jacket.
No, that is also his superhero name.
Oh, his okay. His
Yeah, he becomes Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific, but after his favorite wrestler, Mr. Terrific,
Fair play something.
Fair Play, Gary and or Terry
Yeah.
Sloan.
Yeah.
I rewound it 3 times, and I clearly hear him say Gary the first time and Terry a second time. Like, it clearly switches.
Yeah.
In the episode, I double checked, triple checked.
I watch all my stuff with the subtitles on. I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, I would go back and look. I think you might be surprised.
That would be neat.
It would be kind of neat that it's Gary Sloan and then it's Terry Sloan.
You know, Gary Terry.
Yeah, Gary Terry.
Sometimes we went by his first name, sometimes we went by his middle name.
I mean, the guy doesn't have enough names. Mr. Terrific, Fair Play, Gary and or Terry Sloan.
Yeah.
And I thought Man Scout, Bullet, Jake Manning, Armstrong was a mouthful, but apparently Mr. Terrific also wrestled for George
Well, this
South.
guy also knows like David Starr and all of his monikers, so he was like, no, this works.
Yeah, this tracks. So they gear up for this big battle where they're all going to work as a team now, but Cody is solely fighting with Arrow, and Arrow trusts his team to dispatch of everybody else. Yeah. And that's where we all build around. And I find it interesting knowing that Cody's going to have a significant run after this. Maybe you can fill in the blanks on this. But Arrow very smartly cuts his tendons so he can't move. Mm-hmm. But obviously he doesn't feel the pain, and he's like, I don't feel it, but you can't move without your tendons.
Yeah.
Which is super smart.
Yeah.
Super, like really smart.
Yeah. And also superhero.
Yeah. And, doesn't kill anybody because apparently Arrow's not on that kill train.
We're not doing that. We're off the kill right now.
Off the kill. But if he's got sliced tendons, how does he come back?
I don't know. I haven't seen season 7.
Okay.
I'm going to find out. Because it's on my list of things to catch up on. I finished Slasher. I finished a couple other things.
Okay.
I'm on.
All right.
I'll get back to you on it.
This is how tremendous Cody Rhodes is as a performer.
Go on.
The only reason I ever want to watch
both in the ring and on the silver screen.
Anywhere he wants to be, whether
when he wants to perform.
When he wants to perform at a press conference.
What do you think his stand-up would be like?
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. And if he wants a couple extra jokes, I'll write them for him.
Yeah, of course.
I'll craft it. I have all this black girl material I can't use anymore. So, Cody, go ahead.
You could use all of it.
You can use all of it.
Here's my joke about Underwear Day.
I've got 8 minutes on weave here, my friend. Here, take it. It's yours. It's yours.
Just right here. Just sitting in the book.
Yeah. Just
black girl material.
Right here. So, yeah, I actually want to watch and figure out how they bring him back after cutting his tendons. I only want to watch the Arrow episodes that he's in.
Just because you're so invested in this character.
I'm invested in this character, and that's how amazing of a job Cody Rhodes did on this episode. So, I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm seeking employment and a change in my life. I'm doing it because he's a true thespian, a lover of the art of acting and performance. That's why.
I'm going to get drunk and try to overdo that little sentimental moment you had.
Oh,
Wouldn't be the first.
Wouldn't be the first. Would not be the first. So then, but then,
I love you, Cody Rhodes.
That's an inside joke and we thought the beefy suicide joke nobody's gonna get that reference whatsoever.
I don't know if they listen to your other podcast, they might figure it out.
They might. So Arrow there's an explosion in the background and he just walks away like a badass,
Like a fucking man.
I guess you
like a man or an equally powerful woman would do.
You can't kill anybody anymore, but you can walk away like a badass in a John Woo movie.
When I blow him the fuck up.
So
maybe he lived. I don't know.
Yeah, they leave it wide open.
Yeah, clearly he does because he comes back for 6 more episodes.
Yeah, spoiler alert. We've already discussed that at the top of this podcast. We get that sweet Casey Jones reference. We go back to the Trust Brothers flashback. We get to a teaser for a prison break, and we get to...
Well, they also bring him to the real hideout now.
Okay.
That's the elevator going down to the real hideout.
Okay. So it's just downstairs?
Yeah, it's always just been downstairs.
What the fuck?
Right? He used to own a business, he used to own a nightclub, and it was in the basement of the nightclub for a long time.
All right.
And now that he's at City Hall, I think he had one built there.
Okay. So his path is he was a nightclub owner?
Mm-hmm. No, he's just a rich boy. He was a rich piece of shit. He was cheating on his girlfriend with another girl, and they were on this boat, and the boat capsized. His dad was there.
Oh, okay. And then,
she was thought to be dead. His dad dies, ? And then he ends up on this island.
Okay. And then that's where he gets all this training.
It's where he learns to be Arrow.
He comes back and hey, I'm still fucking rich.
Yeah. Sorry I was a piece of shit all that time.
Yeah.
And then he's got to keep up with sorry your sister's dead and I was fucking her on the way out, but
he's got to deal with all that.
Yeah,
and then of course Speedy's his sister.
Yes,
in this,
correct.
So what was she doing this whole time?
Just hanging out, being a debutante.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does she feel about her brother being the superhero?
They show the suits. One of those suits were hers.
Okay.
She was Speedy. She was also an archer too.
Yeah. So she's she's on board.
She knows. Yeah, she's part of it.
I mean, she knows she's on board, but she's just she's a debutante, and then he's hey, I got this idea.
Yeah, basically. Well, he was doing it for a while, then she found out, and she's I want in, and he's no, and she's but I'm in, and he's okay.
Okay. And
then she gets a boyfriend at one point who does it.
Does that work out well?
No, he might die. I don't remember. But yeah, Ray. His name was Ray.
Okay, when did Speedy get hooked on heroin?
I don't remember if they talk about the heroin. Maybe that was a season 4 thing.
Okay.
Maybe they do talk about the heroin. Because Speedy's not obviously his sister in the comic book. Speedy's a dude. Just a dude.
Yeah, he was the sidekick. He gets hooked on heroin. That's the only thing I know about Green Arrow.
I can't remember or maybe she was a party drug girl. Can't remember.
Okay.
It's out there. It's in the Wikipedia. You guys can figure it out. Or you can just write in and tell us. Maybe I'm just making all this up.
The question is, in those episodes where they explain this, Cody Rhodes in it?
No.
All right, well, not important. It's not important whatsoever.
Say whatever I want at this point.
But what is important is the end of this episode. Zane, do you have any dates coming up? This is going to be released next Thursday that you want to put out into the world.
Next Thursday.
We still got Florida SuperCon coming
up.
That
coming. I'll be in Ronan, Miami, the last weekend of the month in June.
If you listen to this in a timely fashion, it'll be just a few days away. So
on the 22nd, I'll have PWX in Concord, North Carolina, I believe. No, Albemarle, North Carolina. And then the Freight Train show is the 23rd, yeah?
The Freight Train show has already happened. It'd be this past Sunday.
You said next Thursday, correct?
Next Thursday.
Which it would be the 20th.
You are correct.
So it'd be in a couple days.
You're right.
Okay, I was about to say Father's Day. I've missed it. So yeah, and then I have jury duty randomly on the 26th.
Oh, you got jury duty? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to go this time or I'll get arrested because they've been sending it to the wrong address. And they still have, just the neighbor has finally brought my mail over that they've been hoarding for a while.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
So then we got a couple cons coming up, man. And there's a Tennessee convention that I'm doing.
Fanboy convention. I'll be there with you. You'll be riding with me and then riding right back.
Yep.
Caleb will be stuck up there the whole entire weekend.
Wait, what? I thought I'm with Caleb the whole time, so I'll be there all weekend.
If you want to come back with me, you can.
What? There's an option? We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
this is not the place. Put that out there. And then I'll have Queens of Combat in Raleigh, North Carolina during the Raleigh GalaxyCon.
I will be at Wrestling Revolver at the same time that the Raleigh GalaxyCon will be going on.
You're not there at all.
I will not be there at all because I will be in Iowa and probably getting the commentary for the next $5 wrestling show.
Yeah.
So any $5 wrestlers that are going to appear on June 23rd, don't do anything illegal
Please.
between now and then, please.
Keep it above the age limit if you don't mind.
I've already lost enough sleep over it. So, but don't worry, Pork Chop Cash is going to be out of jail.
Hey,
and just in time.
Hey, the other guy not so much.
Not so much. We won't speak of him. We will move forward, and he no longer exists to me anymore or our promotion.
He's dead to everyone now.
He's dead to everyone right now. So, anything else we got to say?
I'm good, man. You got anything?
No, man. I just want to let people know.
Cody, if you're listening.
Cody, if you're listening, and I did not properly explain to the world how good of an actor you are, please hit me up on Twitter, DM me on Instagram, whatever. My DMs are wide open for you especially.
You can find me at Cody Rhodes fan 4206969.
Well, that's my backup account in case I post something and I gotta go out. But my main account, the arrow phone, if you will, is at Man Scout Manning. If you left a review, make sure you DM me on Twitter at Man Scout Manning with your shirt size and your mailing address, and I'll get the shirt out to you. We have a lot of people, most specifically Get Dangerous, Johnnyism, Red Sox with 2X71, Osmataz, Buckshank, and of course Ben Bird. I'm going to take care of you very soon.
Yeah.
But if you want to actually pay for the t-shirts, just go to howdthisgetbooked.com. Guys, make sure you subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We're on Spotify now. The offer is still out there. If you were listening on Stitcher or SoundCloud and that was very difficult for you and you're now on Spotify, please take a screen cap of you on Spotify so I can let people know that we are on Spotify now. I'd love to retweet that out. So please do that. But as always, thank you so much for listening here today. And thank you for Don at Six Squirrel Studio. This has been another edition of How Did This Get Booked?